I thought my videos of Zwift Island had come to an end, but they went and moved to another island. We left Jarvis Island and have moved over to Watopia. So I got logged in, chose the Just Ride button, headed from Greenville, South Carolina to the Solomon Islands, and then we got off to a good start. We're on Watopia, as the island is now known. And I got off to a good start, deciding I was going to try to get under 15 minutes so the video wouldn't be too long. So I figured I would average around 300 watts. Thankfully, I got right off with an Aero Boost power up to get a little bit more time. For those of you just watching Zwift for the first time, let me explain what's going on here. You'll notice the blinking blue circle with the white line slowly disappearing underneath it. It says Aero Boost. That's a power up, and these are given to you at periodic times in the game, and you can use them at will or not use them. Don't have to do that. As you can see, it gets used up until you get a new one. On the left hand side in the upper corner, you'll see a changing number, 290, 296, 295. That's the wattage that is being sent, the data is being sent to the game from my Wahoo Kicker intelligent trainer. Underneath that, you'll see there's a RPM, that's the cadence, how I'm turning the pedals, and then the heart rate beside that. We're getting ready to start on another aspect of the game, which is the segments. This one is called the Watopia KoM on Strava. Strava and Zwift are not the same thing. And just because I mention Strava here doesn't mean there's any connection between the two, other than the fact that users of Zwift are able to go and create Strava segments on the Strava software. So here I am about 30 seconds in on this particular segment that Zwift has created. It's a climb, and you'll look over on the right hand or the left hand side and you'll notice my wattage has gone up over 400 watts. I really was not intending to go up to try to get the polka dot jersey. You'll notice there out beside my changing number over J.Pait 54, 55. To the right of that, you'll see another red number, 131.21, beside a polka dot jersey. It's over the name S.Cole. He is the current holder of this particular jersey, and I have an opportunity, if I desire, to go up and to take that jersey away from him by completing this climb faster than he did. The funny thing is, as I got into the climb, and I was feeling pretty good putting out around 400 watts, I knew to get to the normal climb that I like to get, I need to be hitting over 500 watts. But the closer I got to the finish, which you'll begin to see when we come around this turn to the right, I realized, hey, you know, I might be able to grab that jersey. So I tried to hold up that 400 watts. And there in the distance, you can barely make out the banner, the kite, under which we will go to finish this particular sprint. So I pick it up. Oh, I think I can make it. 120. Oh, it's going to be close. I pass under the kite, and whoa, I got the KoM jersey from S. Cole. And you also notice that I now have another power up. So I said, that's great. I got me a polka dot. I think I'll just try to maintain my speed. Again, the ultimate goal was to get under 15 minutes so that this video wouldn't be too long. So I was still working, trying to keep around 300 watts. At this stage, you're going downhill for the most part, a slight downhill, until you get to the next segment, which is a sprint segment. So I'll take some time to explain a little bit more what we're looking at. To the right of the rider, the avatar that is me, as you'll see, I'm now wearing the polka dot jersey. There's a list of the riders that are around me. you'll notice on my name, the polka dot jersey is showing, and that gives you an idea of who's in front of me. The people above me are before me, and the people behind me are below me on the list. And you'll see there's a green list, person on the list, GYs, and that person is the holder of the green jersey. I have the polka dot jersey, which is the climbing jersey. The green jersey is the sprint jersey. And somewhere on here, there is an orange jersey. That person must either be farther behind me or farther ahead of me, so he doesn't show up on the list. But that's how you know who is holding that particular jersey. Right above the list, you will see what looks like a topographical elevation map. And I'll explain that in just a moment. I wanted to see, well, who does have the green jersey? G Wise has the green jersey, and I see that he's done it in a time that, hey, you know, I think I might be able to beat that time. You can see the times listed there to the left on the little bars that popped up. So this got my mind to thinking, well, maybe I could have the polka dot jersey and also get the green jersey, which gives us what people go for on the island. It's called the double jersey. So I started backing off a little bit. You can notice my wattage dropped a little bit there. And the reason why that was happening is I was trying to get myself, my heart rate down so that I could get prepped for doing the sprint. So while I'm recovering to get ready for that, I would like to get back to what I was talking about, the elevation map. You can see there above the list of the names. And you'll also notice a lot of little white dots all along the top of the mountain, if you could call it that. And that is where all the riders are. You can see the people who are there. I find it interesting that everyone kind of log jams on the climb up to the top. As you get to those climbs, you'll notice all the little white dots are bunched together. Above that, you'll see another list or another graphic that has right now -2.0, -1 You see that changing there. That's showing you the grade that you are on. In this case, I can tell I'm going downhill, not just because of that particular graphic, but because I'm using the Kicker trainer, which takes the information about that topographical data and sends it to my trainer. And you can even hear that as you listen to the background noise on my video. You can hear my trainer whirring in the background. And when the trainer is under a load, it's because the data is being sent to the trainer telling it that I am going uphill, and that makes it harder for me to pedal. So you'll notice the high whine starts getting into a deeper whine, and that means I'm going under more of a load. Right now, going downhill, that whine is going to be a little bit higher, and you'll notice my cadence is a little higher as well. Okay, something new has popped up. You'll look over to the list of riders, and you notice a little white speak cloud popped up out to the side of one of the names. You're going to see it here again in just a moment. And this is someone who is using the messaging feature within the game to talk to people around them. You can do this by hitting M on the keyboard, which allows you to send a group message to everyone. If you have the iPhone or the Android app, you're able to send messages, private messages, directly to people that are on the course. Right now, it's a little bit clunky using the private message. So typically I'll end up, if I want to send a message, using the group messaging option, and then just use the person's name that I'm wanting to speak with. As you can tell, this is taking a little while, and this is kind of a dull area in the ride. You've got the climb, which is tough. You've got the sprint, which is tough. You've got the rollers, which is very interesting. In this case, you're just kind of going downhill, and so there's not much to talk about in this case. Though I am now starting to get near the point where I'm going to try to take the green jersey. Once you start getting into these turns and you see the mountains to the right and left of you, you know that you're getting closer. So I really started to back off, measuring my breathing, getting ready for the attack, which is right around this left turn. Now, if you're wanting to get it, you'll notice I start shifting down. You can hear me shifting through to get to my 53.11. And then as I come around this turn, I stand, I'm attacking, because you need to get rolling before you start. And the start is right there. You need to get rolling if you're on a kicker, because it takes so long to overcome the inertia so that you can get up to speed. So I'm hitting 1,000 watts. I use the little lightweight feather guy to make me go a little bit faster. And hey, I took it. 20.35 seconds. And again, you'll notice another power up popped up, and that was the little plus, which gives me 10 extra points as I am trying to get experience points in the game. Experience points help you to level up. You get new jerseys, you can get new bikes, new wheels, all of those things. I point out, you'll notice that my heart rate went up over 175, which means when I get up to 180, I've really been pushing it. You also notice that my jersey has changed. It's green, but also it has mountains along the bottom, a mountain ridge. That's because it's a double jersey. It's the green sprinter's jersey combined with the climber's jersey. And then over in the list of the riders, you'll notice my name now has a matching graphic that goes along with the jersey. I'm using a MacBook Pro for this, and so the graphics are not as good as you would get if you were using a gaming machine, for instance. So I'd like to talk about how awesome the graphics are, and they are, but this is nothing like what you would get with a better machine. The graphics are better than what you're able to see here with me. But even so, I did go in and fiddle with the settings so that I could up the graphic detail, and it was kind of cool. It didn't slow my machine down too much, but I found that when they updated, I removed those settings. They got removed, and therefore I went back to the default settings, and I've stayed there because it's the gameplay that really makes it interesting. Speaking of the gameplay, we are now in the rollers. This is a section that I haven't yet learned to ride adequately. The problem for me is that as I go down into the dip of the rollers, I have typically my cadence is too low. I'm in too big of a gear. So then when I come up on the other side, things kind of bog down, and then all of a sudden the kicker sends the data to the game and I take off almost like in a sprint. And as I've tried, there we go, I just did it there. It looks like I'm intentionally trying to stand up and sprint, but really I'm just trying to maintain what I've been doing. It makes it very odd when I'm trying to ride with someone, especially someone who is not on a kicker, because we get really out of sync riding through this section. I think I can learn how to do it by getting my cadence up, being in a smaller gear as I come into these rollers, so I can carry the momentum up over the rollers. That finishes the roller section as you come through this particular tunnel. Once you get through the tunnel, it's time to start thinking about the fact that you're getting to the end of your lap. This is a downhill into kind of a flat section. I, again, still staying with the idea of holding under 15 minutes so that I could be able to fit all this into a video that wasn't too long. And as I got going, I began to think, well, maybe I can really get a good time. I'm feeling pretty good. So I lifted my wattage up a little bit as we got onto the flat section. Sun was rising over the horizon, And then it popped up and I said, whoa, hold it. I could get the orange jersey. So I really picked it up, pushed on through, and ended up the night, believe it or not, with the triple jersey. So I've got orange, green, and climbing. So it was a good night. And I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll get out there and do the same thing. I did finish a cool down lap and lost 2 of the jerseys, so I finished up in the green. But then I was able to log off. I wanted you to see this. It gives you the data of the ride. You click I'm done, and then you're able to go, if you've connected Zwift with Strava, you can give your ride a name, click the Save plus Strava button, and it will upload directly to Strava. So it's a really neat little feature. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to visit idoit4.org, my foundation, and also locatance.com, my blog where you can find more of these videos.